thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm glad you're still here. Okay, let's continue with Master Shinhwa's instructions during the Chanqi.
You don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do meritorious deeds. You don't know how to build virtues. And you don't know how to establish teachings either.
Okay.
What are we? Okay.
Sorry.
都有机会可以成就，所以你应该欢喜。这是你打这个妄想啊，后悔这是错误。
But now, all of you have the opportunity to achieve these, so you should be happy. You have this false thoughts of regret. That's wrong.
你就是不旅行，不吃好东西，少去这个用车。
You should stop traveling, stop eating good food, shop less, and use your car less.
你有这个额头毛病了，你少去少 drive 10 mile，也是省了不少钱。
You have this automobile. If you drive 10 miles less, that saves quite some money as well.
你应该穿衣服的啊，我这个衣服旧，想要买一个新，还可以穿一年。
The clothes you normally wear are old, and you want to buy new ones, but you can still wear the old ones for 1 more year.
我买这个新衣服这个钱不买了，今年我拿出来供养三宝来造这个道场。
Then save the money for new clothes, and this year use it to make offerings to the triple jewels and build this way place.
就成就了嘛，就这么一点的小问题，你要是能把它变一变就是这个道场就成就了。你要是不变
Then we can achieve this way place. Such a small problem. If you can change it, then this way place will be established.
我穿这件衣服旧了再买一件新的，买一件新的又不好看，再买一件新的。
If you cannot change, oh, my clothes are old. I will buy new ones. The new ones don't look good. I will buy another new one.
买来买去买的很多，很多穿也穿不了，也没有什么用的。
You buy this and that, buy so many, but you can't wear them all. Therefore, they're not very useful either.
我告诉你，我自己从来没有做过一件新的衣服。
Let me tell you, I never made new clothes for myself.
我出家这么多年，没有用道场的钱呢，对我自己来做什么，没有的。
I have left the home life for so many years and have never used the temple's money to do anything for myself. None.
你们从台湾回来，给我做了一件棉袄，我也送给这个国好。
You came back from Taiwan and made me a cotton coat. I gifted to Guofa.
我这个自己因为自己道德还有，所以也不愿意用长处的钱来做。
As for myself, because I myself have no virtue, so I am unwilling to use the temple's money for myself.
长处没有长处，我所住的长处钱多的，但是我。
Some said the temple has no money. Where I lived, the temple has lots of money.
因为这公家的我一定不用。我在。
But I didn't use it because it belongs to the public. The public. I am certainly unwilling to use the public funding.
告诉你们一个老实话，有的人呢供养师傅多少钱？
Let me tell you one more thing. To be honest, some people make offerings to me, this much money or that much money.
你们供养我这个钱，我自己呀不用。那么干什么呢？我都拿出来造庙，我做事情。
All the money you offered to me, I didn't use it for myself. What did I do with it? I took it out to build temples, to do things.
我自己因为自己很惭愧的，我不应该浪费私里的金钱，就1块钱我都不是随便用。
Because I am ashamed of myself, I feel that I shouldn't waste donors' money. Even if it is just $1, I still wouldn't spend it casually. We're going to the next slide.
That's it? Next file?
Right.
Okay, let's take a break then. Any questions or comments? He sets a very high standard. It's very difficult to follow. You cannot move it. Why don't you move it? And I tell a few jokes.
Yeah.
But I need a file, okay?
Okay. It's
I need
one
these
sec.
slides.
Here.
Okay, that's fine. So Master Shinhwa is a great man. He came to the West and brought the Mahayana here, and we're very grateful for that. In the process, Mahayana is not in the books. It is in him. Okay? Whatever Mahayana teachings are, they must be lived by him. That's the highest form of teaching at Mahayana. Am I making sense to you? Okay? That's what great teachers do. They take their lives, to use their lives to teach by example, just like the Buddha did. Shakyamuni Buddha used his life, devoted his entire life to teach the Buddha Dharma. So that's why he came to our world. And you notice every single Buddha, as they go through this process, they manifest the 8 appearances of becoming a Buddha and so forth, 8 signs of becoming a Buddha, that process. It's all designed to teach us. Every single thing, every single moment is designed to teach us. Okay? For example, he was born into a royal family. That's a lesson right there. Grew up in a royal family, lots of lessons right there. got married to his cousin. Another lesson right there, find a good woman. No? Okay, never mind. So his life is full of great examples because he taught by examples. This is the essence of Buddhism. This is why the great teachers always follow that. They all follow that pattern. Okay? It must be pointed out to all of you because you don't realize it. Not all of you, including Asians and Westerners. You don't realize that great teachers, they devote their lives to teach us by example. It's not talk alone. It's primarily, they talk to you, but they actually talk to you from their own executions. They talk and execute at the same time. Okay, so Master Shinhwa, one of his points is that he's very frugal. He never wasted the donor's money, whether it's to the temple, in particular for himself as well. Okay, and so that's the standard he set for all of us. Okay, well, let's go through the teaching here. Oh, you fixed Go file. That's very good. You guys are fast. That's very nice. Okay. Boy, we went through a lot, didn't we? Okay. So going back to slide 272, he says, you don't know what to do. Okay. What you don't realize is that is a part, one of the most important things you can do with your lives is to create merit and virtue. Okay? Merit and virtue means that you must learn how to do meritorious deeds. Okay? And therefore, you need to first learn to establish meritorious deeds, and that's then you can build your virtues, and then and part of it is that now you learn to share. Established teaching makes it available, make Mahayana available for others to benefit from it, not just for yourselves or your family or your friends. Okay? So you have to have a bigger picture. You do all these good deeds in order to... what happened? Do you do all these good deeds in order to benefit yourself in a big picture? Okay? But it is to help benefit a lot more people than just yourself. Because when you practice Mahayana, you gain some benefits for yourself. Okay? Naturally. You will improve your life. I'm aware, for example, that so far, for the last, how many days so far? 10 days? Huh? The people who've been for this summer tea here, people have improved already. People who come here, as well as with people who have been practicing at home as well, they've been improving. So I'm very pleased with that. So I'm pleased because when you improve, your life is better, you feel better, and you see that the teaching is for real. The teaching is very useful to you, so that this is something that you want to make available to the rest of your family, your friends, and many, many more people. You see, it makes more sense. Okay, so that's what establishing the teaching really means. Oh God, my phone is hotter, so hot. Sorry. I'm going to switch to Samsung. It burns the front of my pocket here. Okay. What was I? Okay. Anyway, so that's why you want to help. The big picture is that you practice, you get these benefits. You see that if you get benefits, then you should also make it available for others, so also benefit from this as well, from this teaching as well. That's why it's called establishing teachings. Okay? And he says, now I'm here. He didn't say I'm here. Now I brought you this Dharma here. You should be happy. that you have this opportunity to take part in this big thing, the big picture that no one ever taught you. Your life has always been about serving yourself, going to school to make more money, to work harder in order to move ahead. But it's always to help yourself, to serve yourself. The teaching here, the Buddhist teaching is that there's a big picture. You can better serve yourself by helping others. Now making this teaching more available to others. Okay? And therefore, you should not hesitate. And he says you should stop traveling. Last night he said, you should give me more money by skipping, by skipping vacation. Don't go to nice restaurants. Downgrade, he say downgrade to the mom and pop restaurants, a hole in the wall or the street food so that it's cheaper. No, he didn't say that. Okay, stop eating good food, shop less, buy less, and use your car less. Okay, and what he said. You need to save money, and you have this automobile, the little things add up, you drive less. Here in San Francisco, we are finding ourselves driving less because it's a saves gas, because parking is such a pain. Okay? And it's a lot cheaper to use public transportation than paying for the parking. And it says the clothes, don't buy new ones if you can still wear them. Okay, maybe it's a holes, patch of holes or something. Okay, wear the clothes, don't buy new clothes for a year. And the savings, the money here, you give it to the Triple Jewel to build this way place. And that's how even your little efforts can help establish his way place. And you can tell, that the pressure is under. Remember, he is very obscure then, and he didn't have a lot of support, didn't have a lot of rich people to support him. So he's counting on these small donations from you from us to help pay for the down payment and mortgages of the way places. So it's got to be desperate. It's not a good place to be for him because he's actually overreaching, if you will, from a very obscure monk with no financial support, no rich disciples. Okay? Because think about it. He was not the establishment for Buddhism. He's poor. Okay? He doesn't kiss up to people. He didn't kowtow to people. Okay? And therefore, what kind of support you think he got? Nothing. So that's why for him there is this dilemma. If he continued that way, then he cannot establish a way place. But if he caters to rich people, then he's compromising his Dharma. So that's a problem. So the only thing left that he has is to squeeze more money out of people like us. Okay? So desperation. Desperate times calls for desperate measures, as they say it in America. Okay? So sometimes, I want you to feel this, because sometimes you're desperate and you do things that you regret later. I feel that he never had to ask for this again, ever again. You know that? After this episode here. He turned money away. He didn't even take money from some people. If money is not cleanly earned or whatever, he said, no thanks. Yeah, please, I don't want it. Yeah, keep it for yourself and give it to another temple or something. But I don't want your money. He's very blunt about it. But at this time here, he's pretty desperate. Okay, so this, I hope you don't judge him. But you, manic people are judgmental. Manic. Okay, anyway. So this is part of your lesson. You hear these things and say, oh, Master Shinhwa is such a, he's whatever it is. Part of your lesson tonight is that don't judge him. He has his reasons. We don't have his wisdom. Okay, don't judge sages. Okay, I said those things last night. I disagree with him about asking you for money. Okay, that bothers me. Okay, but doesn't mean I judge him. Okay, is that clear? I'm just making a teaching point. I'm not judging him at all. You do whatever you feel necessary for you to do. I respect that. I respect that he made sacrifices. He said, if I didn't compromise myself right now and give these people a chance to help out, we're not going to make it. Okay? And so I understand, that comes at the price that people like you in the future would judge him. Okay? You too, go ahead.
From Snow Wu.
Yes.
Why not make more money? Why not make more money rather than save money? One can donate more this way.
No, he's talking about what's available right now, what you have right now. You optimize it, you save, you're more thrifty, then the savings those savings can be used to help the way place. That's real right there. To say that let's make more money and you're exposing yourself to investing or doing things you'll regret later. You indulge in greed. Okay? So actually, savings is actually a better move. You too, go ahead.
From Peter, what happened to change Great Master Shinhwa from desperation to turning down unclean donations?
He had too much money. He had more money than he needed. Any other questions? Okay, you need to remember, these are lots of pressure for him, that he has his chance here to build a way place, and unless he have this facility, he will not be able to have a place to teach. So it's understandable. So it's a little compromise to speed things up for him. Okay, so look at it, folks, as actually an act of sacrifice, because the busier he gets, the sooner he would die. You realize that? Okay, and that's what happened to him. He was working too hard. He helped too many people. Anyway, let's continue. So he says, don't keep on buying new clothes. You can't wear them all anyway. Okay. You agree with that? Anyway, okay. Well, yeah. He says, let me tell you. Okay, I ask you to do things, to make sacrifices for yourself. Let me tell you about the money that you give to me, or the money that I receive personally. I never use it. She says, this is the standard. Okay, I don't think of any monk I know of that would do this. I seriously doubt it. I looked at many monks, different levels. I don't think anyone is as pure as Master Shinhwa in this aspect. He never used a single cent on himself. That's true. And it shows. Okay? Because he's the only monk I saw that it's very difficult to throw things that will stick to him at all. Anything will stick to him at all, because he has, no, it's not for me. Okay? It's never about himself. Everything you do, everything that happens during the day, okay, it's never for him to say, okay, let me save this for me to use later. No, it's always for others. his entire life. This is what's so remarkable. This is the standard he set so high, incredibly high. He says, I never made new clothes for myself. For monks, and there are only a few luxuries left in life, and clothing is one of them. Okay? He says, I left the home life, we are 282, for so many years, and never used the temple's money to do anything for myself. None. He says, look, listen carefully. He says, since the day he became a novice until he died, he never used the temple money for himself. I don't know anyone who can do that. Do you? It's just like he has his mission. He says, I'm going to devote my life to work for Mahayana. I'm not doing it in order to benefit myself. Therefore, I will not even use a single cent of the donations to benefit me. So the goal is clear. There's vision. Okay, there's no hesitation there. This is why I'm doing this. Does it make sense to you? There's no hesitation. How many sunims, how many monks, how many nuns you think can be like that? The one thing that I know is that his clothes are always a poor quality. The fabric is very poor. You notice that? Anyone? You look at all the photos he had. All the sangha robes and sashes he wore. Never anything fancy at all. And you can tell the fabric, the fabric here is expensive. Okay? You can tell right away. Can't you? I can. I look at fabric, I say, oh my God, I would never spend money on this. Okay? So it's true. So this man is incredible. And he says, someone came back from Taiwan, I gave him a cotton coat, okay, to keep himself warm. I gave it to YongHua right away because he says he needs it more than I do. YongHua needs it more than I do. I have no virtue. I'm unwilling to use the temple money for myself. Okay? He puts it in terms of no virtues, but I feel that it's a big picture. That's so Chinese to explain I have no virtue. I think for the Westerners, for our times, it's clear to say it's never about me. Okay? Call it whatever you want to call it. Okay? This is what the kids can understand. Okay? I'm not about virtues. I'm not so focused upon helping myself, upon benefiting myself. So far, so good? And they say the temple may have a lot of money, but I never use it. That's called public money. That money of the temple is basically the money for the triple jewel of the 10 directions. Master Shinhwa is just a manager. Okay, so he manages the funds. We all are managers of the triple jewels money, and therefore he says, since it's really not my money, I don't need to spend it on myself. Okay, and they said people did make a lot of money for me, give money to me personally. What do? Yes, people give me money because they like me, whatever the reasons, they believe in me. I never use anything of it for myself. I just use it to build temples and build and do things for the temples, for my disciples. And he says, I'm very frugal, I never waste the donors' money. So that's his style. All right? Now, anyone has any questions or comments or want to discuss this? Okay? I have a problem. Okay? Here are some of the issues, and I feel this is a wonderful standard that he set that for us to follow. Okay? However, not all of us can do that. It has plus and minuses. Okay? First of all, again, from last night, I want to be adamant about this. I feel that it's not right for me to ask you to forsake going to the movies, going to the theater, going to the museums, and going to the zoos with your children, with your family. Have a good time, go to a restaurant, your family. To me, that's important, okay, for a couple of reasons. Number one, the people at the museums, at the theater, they need the income in order to support the family. So for you not to go, it's less money for them to feed the family, to take care of the family. And to me, it's not good in the long run to do that. Okay, meaning that we shouldn't. We should do normal lives where we don't need to be so drastic as cutting back on going to movies and so forth. To me, that's not a middle way. Okay? Yes, you need to be frugal, you need to save, not waste money, but also you need also to use the money properly as well. And you keep on cutting back like that, I feel is not right for the economy, for the people who depend on our expenditures to make a living, okay, the economy and so forth. But also, to me, equally important is that when you come to the temple, I know you are being asked to make a lot of sacrifices. Your legs hurt, you sleep less, you eat less. And I'm very concerned about that, to tell you the truth, because I'm concerned that your family feels that you are too extreme. And I heard stories like that too often, okay, that you work hard and you come back and you limp and you lose a few pounds, 5, 10 pounds, and I was like, why are you so extreme? Why are you doing this? Why you torture yourself? You torment yourself. And you come back and say, and then from now on, I'm going to be vegetarian. Do not give me onion. Do not give me garlic. This is disgusting to me. Now, all of a sudden, you came back and you set these new standards. Your family said, oh, I'm going to be a pure person. And so the rest of them is not pure. So I have this conflict I've been hearing all the last 16 years I've been teaching. And people, your family, your relative, find it to be extreme behavior. And it's a turn off for them. That concerns me. It concerns me that it means that your cultivation cannot last very long if you don't get your family to support you. Remember, since day one, I've been teaching my disciples, my students, my followers, you need to do things to support your family. We may not have a lot of great food, we have some pastries here, something you can bring home and say, hey, honey, dear beloved husband, I thought of you. Have some egg rolls. You're vegetarian, but at least I thought of you. And you bring back small things, candies for your children, whatever. We love to do that, because feel free to do that, okay? Because I remember a lady who used to help out at the Wei Mountain Temple. She's lived close by, so she would come to help cook at the kitchen, help Xian Tong, Venerable Xian Tong. And every now and then I give her some, wrapped stuff like cookies from Korea, candies, or some whatever. And, the small things that's packaged or things that you can bring back, okay? Even like Lindt chocolate, okay? And she said, because her husband is at home. And I realized that she needs to cook for the husband. And when she helps us out cooking at the temple, I asked her, "Who's cooking for your husband?" She said, "Oh, my daughter is replacing me." So I said, so that's why I said, "Here, bring back some chocolate for him, bring back some candies for him, bring back some I don't know, some food for him." And I did that a few times, and lo and behold, the husband sent a message back. He says, "Thank you. Your food make me feel better, and my health is improving. I think it's because the food you gave me." People, stupid people. What can you do? Okay, my point here is that you need to be smart. I would rather that you don't exhibit such extreme behaviors like you eat pure and you abstain from eating and so forth. And to me, eating, spending time with your family, your son, your daughters, your wives is very important. Okay, because I want you to come to the temple to learn how to become a better person, so that you can share it with your family, not turn them off. That's important to me. That's long-range planning, long-term thinking. Okay, there's a time to cultivate. There's a time you go home. You need to spend quality time with your family, so that the results on your cultivation rubs off. Okay, it manifests and rubs off the people around you, at work, at home, and so forth. That, to me, it's the longer term. This is a much better way to propagate Buddhism than for you to build big temples and so forth. Okay? And because, again, if Master Shinhwa feels that Buddhism is through teaching, by example, then I feel that you're also teaching your family by example, by exhibiting a normal behavior, and what you do should be consistent with the middle way. Okay? Meaning that you work hard at the temple, you make sacrifices at the temple. When you go home, you take care of your family. You spend quality time with your family. And that's very important to me. Okay? And that, I feel, is different, where I differ from my master, my teacher. My teacher is that save, and donate to the triple jewel, okay, to create blessings. I'm thinking much longer term. I want a more balanced cultivation approach, where you work hard, okay, here, and you make sacrifices. You're making enough sacrifices for being here, okay? And when you go home, I want you to spend quality time with your family. That's important to me. Okay? It's very important to me. So I want you, the teacher, to smile, teach a man to lie to them, wife say, "Oh, you look so wonderful today." And vice versa. Okay? Because you're supposed to bring the goodness back to your family, back to your community. Okay? And that's the difference. You two, go ahead.
From Go Forest Daniel, Master, I'm wondering if Master Shinhwa denying things for himself a spontaneous and purely authentic decision, or does he have some cognitive process that makes him take those decisions?
It's called wisdom. It's important for him to do that because he sets high standards for me to try to reach. Okay? So that's a personal thing for me. I say, okay, I see that I cannot be like that. Okay? So I have to keep on working harder to reach a level of wisdom that he's able to reach. Okay? But that's a personal thing for me. Okay? That's very important for me to understand that. However, it's not for you. I feel that's not the middle way. It's too extreme for you. Okay? For most monks and nuns, it's not possible. Let's face it. Okay? Other YouTube questions?
From Vicky, Master, what you bring up is a concern. How do we fit in with our Saha lives and follow the Dharma?
you need to use moderation. I want you to go to the temple and spend the time with the temple, be yourself, and learn to improve yourself. And you go home and you spend the time, devote your time with your family. Try to improve the quality of life, their quality of life. That's what we do. We teach you here, we train you here in order that you become a better person, and wherever you go, it rubs off on others. That's important to us. It's important to me that wherever you go, that people are receptive to you, that you're humble, you're modest, and you don't stand out, okay? Quietly help others.
Hi, 大家好，我是早入10的号。
Okay. What was that? Someone playing videos again, Master Xianqie? Or is it Francis? Francis, what else? What did you do again? Okay, I feel that Master Shinhwa's teaching is remarkable, it's commendable, but it's not appropriate at all times. Okay, it works great for him from a teacher perspective, and I appreciate that. But I don't feel it's for you. I really have a hard time with all this obsession with saving money and so forth. Let me tell you about this one thing that's important to me. Okay, you remember he said that he would not spend a single dime on himself. He would eat bland food and so forth. Okay, so at lunchtime he sits by his table there, by himself, and they serve him, horrible food. Bland food, no sugar, no salt, no candies, How can you live like that? Okay? It's fine. It's great for him, okay, because he doesn't need any of that. Okay? However, we are not sages like him. You ask yourself, why am I doing this? What's in it for me? What's my fun? No? If you keep on suffering and suffering, you suffer at home, you suffer at work, you come to the temple, you suffer more. Are you crazy? What's the matter with you? I asked you to suffer at the temple because I want you to also have fun at the temple. You notice that? We tell jokes, we crack jokes, we eat snacks, we goof around, yeah? Yeah, we fast, but then, as soon after you fast, we eat a lot. Okay. And we share. See my problem? If he says, all of you should eat no salt, no sugar, and people keep on giving us chips, chocolates, candies, and all those things, what are we going to do with all that? And so, you think it's normal for you to sit around and say, today I decided to never eat candies again. And he goes, oh, how nice. We're not normal. This is too extreme to me. Okay? Why? Because to me, this is not Hinayana. Mahayana. This is Mahayana, meaning what? What I mean by that is that we're supposed to connect with people, establish rapport, establish communication channels around people. It's great that Master Shinhwa, says, see, look at me. My entire life, I don't need to eat salt. I don't need to eat, sugar. I don't need, look at me. I'm normal. I'm healthy and all the things and so forth. I'm happy. Look at me. However, it comes at a price. I ask of my students, lay people as well, left home people, mostly half home people, they work their buns off. Okay? They work so hard day and night. I know they make sacrifices and still they work their butts off. I still scream at them. I still yell at them. You realize that? Okay? That's for them. It's not for you. Okay? However, if you think about it, how long do you think they can last if that's the case? No one except Master Xianjie is that stupid. Xianjie, since he joined the order, he had nothing but pain and suffering and pain and suffering. I said, he suffered so much. I said, here, you go to Taiwan, they will baby you, they will worship you, they will take good care of you for 2 years. He came back and said, I don't like it. So I said, okay, so what do you want? He says, can I go back to becoming a novice so that you can abuse me? I said, interesting point. I said, what? I tell you what, I still need monks. Okay, if I bring you back to become a novice, then I cannot, it doesn't look good on my Dharma to have no monks. So you stay a monk, but I treat you like a novice. How's that? My point is that he's crazy. So I keep on abusing him all this time. But the rest of them are normal people. Okay? They run away, especially many of them are depressed. If you make them suffer too much, they go crazy. So what I have to do, okay, is that I will spoil them, I give them food, I take them out to buy some burgers, some fries and so forth. When I see they can't take it anymore, I say, okay, let's go have some boba drinks. I say, yeah? You should see the looks in their eyes. And that's my fun. If you are so strict and tough like Master Shinhwa understands is right there, that's his true self, by the way. It's not a put up. It's not a make pretend. It's really him right there. If you do that, okay, it comes at the expense of connecting with people. You're not normal anymore. People come at you because I've done that. I sat there at my lunch table and several years ago I said, I've been eating too much. I don't like this. I hate this. It's too oily, it's too sweet, it's too salty, I'm getting fat. And even some people start looking at my tummy and he said, Master, is that your clothes underneath or is it just your tummy? Can you imagine? Someone actually asked me that. He said, and I said, shame on you. But anyway, my point here is that so several years ago, I had a problem. I said, I don't like this. I'm getting too busy. I cannot relax anymore. And so eating, forces me to spend more time digesting. So I said, I'm trying to cut back. So I cut back. I lost weight very quickly. Okay? I used to do that as a novice, so it's not a big deal for me. Okay? But guess what happened? Next to me are those poor people, the monks who sit next to me, the nun who sits next to me, they all look, By the way, the monks and nuns are not supposed to look at others people's bowls. That's a rule in our Sangha. When you eat, you're not supposed to glance at people's bowls. Okay? But mine do. They always look at my bowls. First of all, you see, I fill up about half full. Okay? People will come offer me and say, no, thank you. Okay? So guess what happened? They felt so much pressure. They started eating less. And guess what? They can't stay awake. They can't work anymore. They cut their fingers, cut their hands. I said, I can't have this. I cannot afford to pay people. And I cannot afford to have my monks with no fingers. So I had to eat again. Especially Master Xianjie. Look at how skinny he is. He used to sit right next to me. until I push him down and say, you look too often at my bowl. Go move down further away, okay? So you can't glance at my bowl anymore, okay? But imagine he's skinny already and he cut back on his intake. So the whole time he's like, so I did things by necessities, the force of necessities, okay? And that turns out to be the middle way. It's too extreme. You lose connection with people if you do it like the way Master Shinhwa did, okay? My students, they work very hard. They make a lot of sacrifices. I know they're not asking for anything, but it's important to them, for them to know that I care. Ching! Okay? It's important for me to them to be convinced I care. So it takes small things like, candies here, candies there, some French fries there, some French fries there, a boba drink here, some Starbucks here, and so forth and so forth. It makes a huge difference to them. Okay? That connection, that caring thing, which I did not find when I was at my master's temples. It's too austere, and it's a turn off for the young generation, okay? And I'm scared. If you go back to your family and you behave like that, your children will run away from you. Your husband will divorce you, okay? So that's why there's a compromise, okay? YouTube, go ahead.
From Peter, giving people gifts from the snack table is one of the best ways ever to help people encounter the Dharma.
That's what Peter checks every single time. Peter and Catholic Daniel, what they do is they casually drift over to the snacks table, and they check it out. Okay? Yeah. No, this is very important to me. I'm trying to make a point here. Whatever you learn here, you go home, I need you to understand, to find ways to connect with your family. Go to work, connect with your co-workers. That's important, okay? Don't try to tell them, I'm Mahayana, I'm a superior person. Just connect with people. People are very smart. Don't try to teach them. They're smart. They realize you improve, you change, they'll ask. And you know what? That's the best way to influence them, because they want to steal it from you. If you give it to them, they say, no, I don't want this. You give it to me for free? Nah, it cannot be real. Okay? But if they see you change, become more patient, you're a kinder person, and people like you more people, hang around your cubicles, and, people, at the family rather sit next to you and hang around you at parties and so forth, the others will notice. And you know what? They're going to imitate you. They're going to say, what did you do? So that's how you influence people. Okay? Let them decide for themselves and pick what works for them. YouTube.
From Vicky, I'm giving up my 1 week at Chanchi so then I can be home more for my family and hopefully join Master to work on the relics exhibit in Korea.
Bless you, my child. Yes, you too.
From Apple, last year before Christmas, Master said to me, don't let me see you at the Goat Forest Christmas party. So I had more time to drive to Texas with my husband to visit his uncle. I knew Master was teaching me. Thank you, Master.
Which apple is that?
Goat Forest apple.
Go first. Oh, yeah. Hi. Yes, dear. You too.
From Christopher L. Master, can we still make spiritual progress in our cultivation if we live a normal life like regular people?
Yes, absolutely. People have been making progress. Coming to the temple once a week, enduring my tantrums, helping out, following the schedule, okay? that works, has been established to work very well. That's it? No more? No more?
One more from Brady. What is the best use of your money? What merits can you generate with it?
Your money or my money?
My money.
My money? Okay. My money, I would like to buy a red car.
Your money.
Here's my problem with the Chinese style, okay? You guys, you Asians and you people are so blessed. You're in your culture says you're supposed to plant blessings or triple jewel. Whether you're Korean, whether you're Vietnamese, whether you're Chinese, whether you are Sri Lankan, and so forth, Thai and so forth. The Asian cultures, it's baked into our culture. Okay, that's very important. We need to remind our children of that superior aspect of their culture, of their heritage, they should cherish and not ever lose. That's very important. Okay? Tell your children that. Tell your nieces that. Tell your grandchildren that. It's so important. Okay? However, the Western culture doesn't have such a tradition. What's the difference? You know, in Asian culture, you're supposed to give, you're supposed to make sacrifices and give to the temple. That's why Master Shinhwa said, yeah, you should make sacrifices. That's Asian. It makes sense to the Asians. It doesn't make sense to me. I have a hard time with that. Okay? So how do you teach Buddhism? How do you teach people in the West? Especially your children, your nephews who were more enamored with the Western style education. You know, you can go so far. When they say, but you know, I don't know. Why should make sacrifices when you guys have such big temples and you asking us to make more sacrifices? Seriously? Okay? For the Asians, it's better for them to do that. They continue to make sacrifices. They're supposed to make donations, support triple jewel, because that's one of the best things you can do in your lives. But the Westerners, they don't buy it. And we cannot repeat the same line. Okay? Including to your children. The Asian children, you cannot tell them that because they went to school and their friends would laugh at them. Are you crazy? Are you some sort of cult or something? What do you get out of it? That's what they ask. Why are you doing this? What's in it for me? You go back. Brady's go back and his wife says, what's in it for me? The temple takes your time away from me. Okay? And now you tell me I need to make more sacrifices? For what? You guys definitely are cults. So what to do? So to me, this is one of the limitations of Master Shinhwa's teachings. You cannot ask the non-Asian, especially the young Asian generations, to continue to do what the older generation has been doing. They don't buy it anymore. Okay? It doesn't work. It's a turn off for them. This is why there's a disconnect between the Buddhist temples and the young generation nowadays. Make sense? Because they're being influenced. They say, what's in it for me? Yes, I come here and give you and give you. Isn't that enough? What else do you want? So here's the dilemma. I go to Korea, and the Koreans, they go to the temple, they sponsor a lantern, this lantern, that lantern, get me one of those. Another for my mother, is my father. So 3 people, $30 or $300, depending on which temple you are. And that's a great way, great tradition for them to do, okay? But it doesn't make sense for the young generation. The young ones say, why does my mother keep on doing that? You too, go ahead.
From Snow Wu, Master, for me, money is a double-edged sword. I have a bittersweet relationship with it. Is it evil to want to become successful and rich? How to have the wisdom to better use the money?
It's a couple of things. That's a good question. Can we digress into that? Because this is a real good question. Okay. I feel that your goal should not be about money. Your goal should be about maximizing your contribution. Whether it's at work, you should try your best to contribute. And if it comes back in the form of more money and so forth, great. But if you measure your success, career success, by money alone, I think would be a terrible mistakes that Westerners make. Because if you only measure in terms of money, I would tell you when you reach a level of the Elon or the CEOs of companies, okay, there's so many ways that these people know how to maximize how much money they're making. A lot more than we low-level people, okay? And to me, that's very damaging to society, very damaging to your family life even, because now your children is trained just to maximize money. That's a horrible, horrible thing. The Asians are right. If you are so preoccupied with maximizing money, your mind is, what is it called? Dirty. It's dirty. If you keep on thinking, I want more money, I want to make more money and more money, your mind is dirty. Any problems with that? I would rather you concentrate on maximizing your contribution. I want to make a difference. I want to be my best. And if my boss recognizes that, he's a good boss, I stick around. Okay? If he does not recognize it, tough luck. If the chance arises, I will jump ship. But in general, I feel that the good managers, there are more good managers than bad managers. Bad managers don't survive. They cannot last very long. So you don't have to worry about your contribution, your remuneration, your reward. I feel great bosses are supposed to protect you and reward you. That includes a temple. If I don't reward my disciples for their contribution, their hard work, okay, in a fair and equitable way, they would have rebelled, they would have unionized. We still have no union so far after 16 years. Did you realize that? Huh? So, so my point here is that I feel that we should stop this sickness about maximizing money, maximizing profits. We should switch more to the desire to contribute to the company, to contribute to your community, contribute to society. And that is a far greater reward, let me tell you, because it comes back to you in terms of blessings. When you give, you contribute, it's never lost. But when you get more money, okay, it's fewer blessings for you, by the way. Okay, so, and of course, the more blessings you have, let me assure you, the more blessings you have, the more money you have. You realize that? Money is simply the manifestation, the materialization of your blessings. Behind money is blessings. So what you do, you keep on creating blessings. Don't worry about money. Okay? That's what you do. That's why I advise all of you to think differently, okay? To have different priorities, okay? Maximize your blessings. Maximize your contributions to your family, to your companies, again, to your communities, to your country. Okay? That's important. To the environment. Okay? Don't worry, don't be so obsessed with money. And naturally, okay, with your blessings and some other conditions, okay, you will have a lot of money. That should be I feel that's what we should teach our children. That's a big picture. That's sustainable. Okay? And if you have a lot of money, what would you do? Like the rich people, do charitable contributions, give money, give it away, and build churches, build temples, and so forth. Those are great things. You at that level, when you have a lot of money, you know how to use them. It's not a problem. However, I'll tell you one more thing. You should consider, if you have a lot of money, okay, invest in your Pure Land. Because that money, whatever you have, you cannot take it with you. Invest in your next lifetime. You're successful right now, you're comfortable right now, you're very happy right now. Invest in happiness in the next lifetime. That's what we can help you do as well. Okay? YouTube, go ahead.
From Tianguo, Master, when you request lanterns or plaques at temple, is it considered offering to the Triple Jewel, or does it even out as a business transaction?
It's offering to Triple Jewel as per the Korean tradition. Am I correct? Sunims, help me out. Zhongyin Sunim. Is that considered making offering a Triple Jewel, or just the what?
Yes, Master.
Go on.
I don't know exactly.
You don't know exactly. Okay. Anyone knows exactly? The Catholic says actually, and Zhongyi use exactly. You too.
It's another comment.
How come the Koreans are all so quiet? Yeah. Master Z, is that considered, what is it when they buy a lantern? Are you selling lanterns? It's a very subtle reminder. How come we have no lantern money? It's disgusting. What happened to all the lantern money? So far, zero.
I think some ask us about lantern, but so far we haven't been doing that, so we just offer them plaques. So, but maybe in the future we consider doing.
It's called bait
lantern.
and switch, Master Z. In the U.S., it's very be careful. You say, hey, we come in here, we want lantern. You switch us into something else. Okay, be careful. Give them a lantern. Give them what they want. That's what we do. Okay, don't switch.
Yes, Master.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Yeah, in general, according to the Korean tradition, from what I understand, is that's considered offering the triple jewel. They tell themselves, I overheard them telling themselves that we're supposed to support triple jewel, so sponsoring a lantern is what we normally do. That's what I heard from the Koreans. Am I correct, Koreans, lay people? The lay people of Korea tonight are very lazy. Look at them. They look at each other. You go first. You go first. Jumi! I'm desperate. Francis, what did you do again?
Jewel Mountain Temple, I think you have yourself muted in Discord. We don't hear you right now.
마이크를 클릭하세요. 마이크.
Oh, it's Shinhwa now. It's not Francis. It's Shinhwa.
있어요? 헬로 마스터.
Hello.
청정한 마음으로 연등을 올리면 그게 삼보의 공양이지만 사실은 바라는 게 있어서 연등을 올리더라고요. 뭐 계약 입학을 하게 해달라, 뭐 취직하게 해달라, 뭐 결혼하게 해달라 이렇게 되니까 저의 개인적인 생각엔 그건 삼보의 공양이 아니라 거래라고 생각합니다.
If we offer the lantern with a pure mind, then it's offering to the triple jewel. But if we offer the lantern with some wish, like passing the exam or getting a good job or marriage, then for me it's kind of transaction.
No, you're wrong. We're still supporting the triple jewel. God, you're so judgmental. Okay? Yeah. They all are good things to do to support the temple. Okay? And all those are the tools that's available by tradition, by the cultural traditions to help support the temple. Again, that's an advantage that you Asians have that the Westerners don't have. Okay? Yeah. All right. YouTube still has a question?
From Diego. My brother loves real estate. He always keeps speaking about money and investing and real estate and Airbnb and etc. One day I asked him, when will you be done? He said, that's the beauty of it. I wanted one house, then my goal was 3, then it was 5, then it was a multi-family building. So once you get to your goal, you keep growing and it never stops. So I think having that attachment to money and material stuff will really take you nowhere.
Okay, very good. So here's my point. We still have an unresolved issue. What do we do with Westerners, especially your generation, a young generation, who feel there's a disconnect between them and the temple? Okay? What do you do? How do you help them plant blessings? If they don't buy into a lantern, they don't want to do a lantern, or whatever. It's just common sense. People just look at how we all function. You go to churches, and the church says, I have this project here that is very good for the community, and you say, oh, I like to help out, okay? Because they get something out of it. My point here is that we monks and nuns, we Sunims, we have to stop assuming that we can be on a pedestal and expect people to support us. That's old-time thinking. It doesn't work anymore. The young generation would judge us. They said, we're supposed to support you, fat cats. You with, with the big tummy. Huh? So it's no longer advisable for us left-home people to expect that people to make offerings to us. It's a wrong expectation. It's okay in Asia in the old times, but it's no longer is the case. Okay, and let me stress this. So therefore, the mindset has to be that we have to earn. We have to do something that's worthwhile for them to support us. So we need to earn their support. We cannot assume that the people will come with they will support us. It's not right. It's a wrong thinking. Okay, and therefore, because people are reasonable, if you do something that's beneficial to society, that's good for others, it's appealing to the young people, to everyone as a matter of fact. So therefore, the mindset of the monks and nuns has to be more on earning our way, contributing to society ourselves. Okay? And that's how you get the support. Don't assume. You cannot continue to assume that we can be on a pedestal and the people are supposed to make sacrifices to support us. I don't think it works at all anymore. Okay? Go ahead. Yes. 3.
A Di Đà Phật, dạ thưa thầy, con có 3 đứa con thì con cũng chưa bao giờ mà dạy tụi nó là về donation hết, nhưng mà tụi nó cũng tự động nó làm. Nhưng mà những cái donation của nó thì ví dụ như nó sponsor cho những đứa trẻ nghèo ở bên Africa, hay là Doctor Without Border, hay là Maria.
Doctors Without Borders.
Doctor Without Borders, yeah. So how con try to convince tụi nó để donate to chùa. They never want to do it.
Okay.
So how they create merit to the temple.
Okay.
I don't even know how
Translation.
So, Master, I have 3 children, and then I can never convince them to donate to the temple. They like to donate to other charity project or donate to organizations such as like Doctor Without Borders, but they never want to donate to the temple. So how can I help them to generate blessing, to plant blessing?
Okay, couple of things. Number one, don't ever try to convince them to donate to temples. That's a mistake I feel the most Asian parents make. Okay, especially the young generation nowadays. Okay, why is that? Because they looked at you and look at monks like me in my generation who like to sit on a pedestal and expect you to make offerings of food, of water, of drinks, and go to the bank and withdraw more money to donate to me because we are monks. That has to stop. It's no longer working in the 21st century. It's no longer working for the young generations. They don't like it. Why? Because they feel that there's a sense of entitlement for us. Okay, so So the times have changed. The currency for today is that we have to earn our way. We cannot assume that we can sit here and receive your donations. It doesn't work like that anymore. Okay? It's a turn-off to the young generation. And therefore, when you try to tell them to give to the temple, because you're supposed to give to the temple, they say, are you kidding? I'd rather give to doctors without borders. I'd rather help build a bridge. I'd rather help in the orphanages. But you fat cats, these people who eat so well, who do so well, who live so well, who dress so well, okay? I'm not going to give them money to them. You can give money to them if you want, but I'm not impressed by these people. Okay, so it's the monks and nuns' mindset that we have to change. Okay, in that way that we have to earn our way and be useful to society ourselves, and not try to sell it. By the way, that's a difference. Difference between the monks and nuns and the other marketeers, the other companies, is that we are providing a service to society and we're not trying to sell ourselves. Not at all. Okay? We're not trying to sell ourselves in order to maximize profits, in order to make our temples bigger. That should not be the mindset of monks and nuns. That's very important. Okay? Because if the monks and nuns have in the back of their mind, I want to do this so that I have a bigger temple, I have more and more and more, so forth, it comes through. The people will sense it. Okay, people are not stupid. Their Buddha nature will know it. Their thinking mind may be confused, but the Buddha nature says, you guys are scammers. Okay? And you put on this facade, but you're not real. Okay? So that's why it's very important for us to really, truly earn our way by contributing. How do you contribute? By developing skills, folks. You develop skills in order for you to contribute. Okay? And you choose to contribute. Just the same advice as I gave that lady, Snow Xue, okay? That you just contribute. You don't worry about money. Monks too. We contribute. And we refine our skills. We improve ourselves so that we can contribute more. Okay? Without selling ourselves, without asking for anything in return. And if you do that, and we do it 100 times, maybe eventually someone will notice, maybe once. But that's the way it is. That's called cultivation. It's supposed to be called virtue. When you do virtuous things, people are not supposed to know. People are not supposed to recognize it. So don't expect rewards. The only reward you monks get is from me. I give you a boba drink, that's all you get. I give you a cup of coffee, a chocolate. Maybe we sit down and have a meal with you together and crack a few jokes. That's all you're going to get. Okay? Because that's our lifestyle. And eventually, after I'm done, you understand why. And once I'm done doing my work here, okay, then you decide for yourself what you're going to do with your life. Okay? But you understand then, you see then why we're doing this. I'm not going to tell you everything. Okay? So we have to improve ourselves. We have to contribute more and not sell ourselves. That's the difference between us. Okay? And while doing that, I have no problems for you to do things to connect with others and reach out. Go eat, go to museums, go to the zoo, whatever, to connect with children. okay? I have no problem with it. Go hiking, I have no problem with that. I will buy you hiking shoes. I buy you clothes. I buy you kung fu things. Buy you weights, okay? So that you can become stronger, so that you can be healthier and so forth, okay? That's my concern. But you just become a better person, that's all. You contribute more, that's all. And when you are able to do more, people will recognize it, will step up and say, I want to help you do more because I like it. So the bottom line is that we do more because we continue to get better and better and do more and more. And eventually people will notice and say, hey, this is great. I like to be part of this. Okay? So we always be the underdog. We always be obscure. We always be, the third or the fifth or 10th option in terms of donations. But that's enough. Are you crazy? How can we go have a drink have a meal if people are always calling us on the phone? They say, Master, save my daughter. Master, save me. Oh my God. What kind of life is that? Are you crazy? You too.
From WMT Apple, can you come up with paid meditation retreat or classes? Then it helps them to plant blessings. They expect to pay for meditation classes or retreat.
Yeah, maybe. I might do that. I might not. Depending. All those things usually organized by lay people. Because when it comes down to paid events, I don't want to be involved. But lay people want to organize it and use me. I have no problems with that. Okay? Because again, for me to do something, say, oh, okay, how much money can I make off this? To me, it's dirty. Okay? But you lay people, it's not dirty for you. Do we understand each other? You too, go ahead.
From Peter, start helping Westerners learn to plant blessings by teaching them how to cross their legs. Bow and say thank you, Master, before asking a question or making a comment during Dharma talk.
Absolutely. So what happened is at first, you benefit them. You teach them meditation, you help them out, give them a candy and so forth, smile to their children and so forth. Okay? And that's how they will encourage, that's how we encourage them to get involved, to do more at our projects. Because we are competing with the other projects from the churches, from the synagogues, and from philanthropy and so forth. Okay? We're not going to take them all. We just have, a few dollars here and there. And the point is that lay people need to plant blessings first, okay, before they buy into, into Mahayana, before they believe in Mahayana teachings. Okay? And that's my personal experience. I did charity work before. I did a lot of charity work, created a lot of blessings. That's how every time I did something important, I was exposed more to Mahayana dharmas. Believe it or not. I earned my way too. If I earn my way to get your trust, you also need to earn your way to get more exposure to the Mahayana we give you. Trust me. Okay, so your children, they don't buy into it. It's simply because they don't have enough blessings yet, believe it or not. That goes to prove that to be able to get close, to be exposed to this kind of Mahayana Master Shinhwa brought to the world, to the U.S., to the West, requires A lot of blessings, a lot more than you think. So instead of saying, I want you to believe me, do what I do, you keep giving more blessings, okay? And you can transfer blessings to them. You get them, plaques. You make a donation on their behalfs and so forth. We can do a lot of things on their behalfs, okay? And that's instead of, this is where you quietly do things instead of buying them some new clothes. Okay? You look at the clothes, you can wear it another year. You understand? Now, because you do it yourself, it's okay. But it's not okay for me to tell you to do that. You understand? You cut costs in order to contribute more on their behalf. That's okay. But it's not okay for me to tell you to do so. You understand? And I can't tell you, say, you should, not buy clothes and give it money to me. Because I don't do that because it looks bad to your children. Because they ask you, how come, you write a check for this to the temple? What for? See? Yeah. And he said, because Master told me to do it. I believe in Master. Oh my God. Okay? It's going to happen naturally because when they have, just keep on transferring merit and virtue to them, give them small thing, and plant blessing for them. Eventually, it's enough. Okay? When they begin to believe you, they begin to be more receptive to it. It's that simple. Okay? That's all. Don't keep them, how come I give them still not, And there's also aspects like they have obstruction and so forth because they obstructed others from coming to Mahayana as well. So, but don't worry, you should give them more blessings, okay, on their behalfs. Eventually they buy into it. It's that simple. You don't need to worry about it. When you give blessings to them, it's theirs forever. No one can take it from them. You give them money, they can try to steal it. The money can be stolen. The car can be stolen. But the blessings cannot be stolen, ever. That's a big picture. Okay? There should be a balance. Okay? So, the old Sunims, the old monks said, you should give to the triple jewel like Master Shinhwa. You should give triple jewel, save money, triple jewel. I don't feel it should be communicated like that anymore. We have to earn our way. You have to do things that encourages them to forget about themselves and plant blessings. Okay. We have to be worthy of it ourselves. Monks and nuns have to be worthy. Have to be more skilled. I hate it. I hate it in my generation where the monks and nuns, so now I'm a Heshang. I've been a monk for 40 years now, 50 years now, 60 years now. Now I sit here and you guys are supposed to make donations to me, make offerings to me. To me, it's a wrong kind of thinking. Okay? It's not clean. All right? I feel that monks, nuns too need to get better, improve skills, communicate better, become more cultured so that they contribute more. They can communicate better with the lay people. Okay? That's a big picture. All right? We stop here tonight. Thank you all.